Hi, this is Lena George for Poppy and Seed, and today we're going to be tapping on our sugar cravings. This is one of the most popular requests for classes. So many of us have these sugar cravings where it seems like we can be so good all day long, and then maybe at nighttime where it's just like, oh, forget it, I've been so good, I just want to give myself a little treat. And those sugar cravings that seem sort of innocuous at first, not that big a deal at first, become a whole box of donuts. And then we feel terrible and the whole thing spirals into shame and guilt, and it becomes a whole big issue. So today we're going to tap on that a little bit, and we're going to start to look at maybe some of the underlying issues that are driving those cravings. What is it that we're really craving? So we'll look at that, and we'll start to tap on maybe some of those feelings that go along with those cravings, that sometimes we just need a little bit of self-care. Sometimes we need to not eat the guilt and the shame along with the donut. If we want the donut, we're going to eat the donut, but not the guilt and shame. So we'll just tap on some of those things today. And the most important thing, as always, is for you to tune in to however it is you're feeling, letting my words just simply act as a guideline for you for the tapping, and really tuning into whatever comes up for you and tapping on that and giving it a voice. So we're going to begin by setting a SUD scale for our cravings today. So on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being my cravings are so out of control, I don't even have time for this tapping right now. Nope, I gotta go get a donut. And 0 being I don't have any cravings at all, I don't even know why I'm tapping. So just kind of take a moment, close your eyes, and just imagine that scale in front of you and thinking about where you are on that scale. And actually, while you're doing that, let's kick your cravings up a little bit more. Let's imagine that time when you crave it the most. Maybe for you, it's first thing in the morning. Maybe it's late at night. Tune into that and even imagine your favorite sugary carbohydrates right in front of you. Like a little buffet of all those sugary carbohydrates in front of you. And see if you can kick that craving up even further to its highest levels. And give that a number now. Good. And then we're going to start, as always, with the setup statement. So we'll come to what's called the karate chop point. So you'll repeat after me. Even though I have these crazy sugary carbohydrate cravings, I want sugar all the time, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So even though I have these sugar cravings, I try to be good all day, but then I want them so badly at the end of the day. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. So even though I have these crazy cravings for sugar, I deeply and completely love and accept myself unconditionally, with or without the cravings. Okay, good. Shake it out for a moment, and we'll just go right up to the tapping points. These sugar cravings, I want sugar. It doesn't even feel good to my body, but it feels so good. I want sugar all the time, but maybe especially at night. I crave those sugary carbohydrates. Sugar feels like it's my best friend sometimes. Sometimes it's all that I can do to stop myself from wanting it. I think about sugar way too often. I crave sugar. Those yummy sugary carbohydrates. I want sugar all the time. Those yummy sugary carbohydrates. I crave sugar. So those sugar cravings, they seem to be running my life. All those sugary carbohydrates, I want them now. Those sugary cravings, maybe I can let them go. I don't know if I'm ready. Okay, and just shake it out for a moment and close your eyes. And just take a couple deep breaths. And then bring up that scale again and notice where you are on the scale. Did the number come down at all? Ideally, the number will be coming down. And if the number stays the same or goes up, begin to tune into what emotions are coming up for you. Perhaps there's a feeling of real, I don't want to let go of this. A lot of resistance might come up. Maybe a feeling of, I don't want to have to deprive myself anymore of what I'm giving to myself, this self-love and self-care. Sometimes that sugar can feel like a best friend or a lot of nurturing that we don't do oftentimes during the day. So just start to tune into that. And if any other feelings or emotions are coming up, go ahead and give that a number on the scale as well. Just take another moment, kind of notice where you are and notice any emotions and give them a number as well. And then we're going to come back to the setup statement and start a new round of tapping. So right here. So even though I still have some of these sugary carbohydrate cravings, I still want sugar. I mean, really, that was only one round of tapping. So even though I have these cravings still, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So even though I still have some of these sugary carbohydrate cravings, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So even though I'm not sure if I'm ready to let go of these cravings, I want to be ready to be ready. I'm ready to be ready to let them go. Maybe I'm ready to be ready to let them go. And either way, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Good, and shake it out. And we'll go right up to the tapping points. I'm ready to let go of these cravings. I don't know if I'm ready to let go of these cravings. What is it that I'm really craving? Maybe if I start to figure that out, I can let go of these cravings. Perhaps I'm craving a little self-care, a little time to myself. Perhaps I'm just craving a little stress relief. Sometimes I crave those sugary carbs when I'm really tired. I just begin to tune into what I'm craving when I think about sugar. I don't know if it's my body that's craving the sugar, or if it's my mind, or maybe even my emotions. I seem to crave sugar all the time, but especially when I'm tired, especially when I'm stressed, and maybe even more so when I've had a hard day. So for all the reasons that I've been craving sugar, for ones that I can think of, and ones that I can't even think of, I'm ready to let them go. I'm ready to let go of these sugary carbohydrate cravings. I'm ready to find other ways to give myself what it is I'm truly craving. I'm ready to find other ways to give myself what I'm truly craving. I'm ready to let go of these sugary carbohydrate cravings. I'm kind of ready to let go of these sugary carbohydrate cravings. I'm ready to find replacements. I think if I found replacements, that would be okay. I could let go of some of those cravings if I could find replacements. Maybe taking a walk. Maybe taking a bath. Maybe calling someone I love. Maybe playing with a loved pet. There are many other things I could do to replace these cravings. Maybe I'll even make a list of all the things that would feel good to me. Paying attention to when I'm craving those sugar carbohydrates and giving myself what I'm truly craving instead. Good, and just shake it out for a moment. And again, closing your eyes, taking a couple of deep breaths. And tune into that scale once again. Noticing where you are on the scale. Again, ideally the number's coming down. And if it isn't, there's no reason to be hard on yourself. This is a process, an individual process for everyone. And again, the most important thing is you tune into what's coming up for you. So Whatever emotions are coming up, if your number isn't coming down, or even if it is, just kind of go ahead and assess those again now on that scale. Good. Good. And then we're going to close it out with what's called the gamut point procedure. And sometimes we do this, it's called a little reset. So it's like a little system reboot for the body. It'll kind of lock everything in here. And ideally we've gotten down to 0 by now. But if you haven't, I highly recommend you continue tapping through the points and just bringing up any of those issues that might be coming up for you, whether it's about self-love, self-care, or nurturing. Whatever those issues are that are coming up, just keep tapping on them. In fact, let's do one more round and just tap on any resistance that comes up first. So coming back here. So even though I still have some resistance to letting go of these sugar cravings, I think I'm ready to let them go. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So even though I still have some resistance to letting these sugary cravings go, I don't know why, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So even though I still have some resistance, I don't know why I don't want to let go of these sugary cravings yet. They don't even make me feel good. In fact, I sometimes feel really bad about myself for them. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself, whether I let them go or not. Good, and shaking it out. And up to the tapping points. All this remaining resistance, I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to let go of this remaining resistance. Letting go of those things standing in my way. I'm ready to be free of these sugary carbohydrate cravings. I'm ready to let them go. And that feels pretty good. I'm ready to give myself what I'm truly craving. I'm ready to pay attention to myself and attend to what I'm truly needing. So any of this remaining resistance, I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to let go of this remaining resistance. I'm ready to let go of these cravings. It feels good to let go of these cravings. I feel empowered. It feels safe to let go of these cravings because I know I'll give myself what I'm truly craving. I know it's not about the sugar. I know there's so much else that I'm truly craving. And it feels good to know that I'll give myself that now. Tuning into my internal state and giving myself what I'm truly craving. I'm ready to let go of any remaining resistance for all the reasons I can think of and the ones I can't think of. I'm ready to let go of any remaining resistance. I'm ready to let go of these sugar cravings. It feels good to let go of these sugar cravings. It feels free to be in control. I feel good being in control. Being in control feels good and freeing. Good, and shake it out. And let's tune in one more time to that SUD scale and just notice where our number is now. Good. And as these days come up, maybe you'll notice that these cravings, maybe you were tapping on that buffet in front of you and you forgot to include some of them. So as they come up, if there's another craving that comes up in the next few days, go ahead and tap on it. Just tap on any craving that comes up, and the best time to tap is right in the moment. Right when you're really feeling that craving is the time to tap. And don't be surprised if you're at the supermarket and you're passing by those aisles that you normally would have stopped and grabbed maybe 2 or 3 boxes of those sugary carbs, and you have that moment where you just think, and you have a little bit of a choice. That's what we're really looking for. Just a moment of choice, a conscious decision rather than a reactive impulse. So we're going to close it out with what's called the gamut point procedure, that little system reboot. So you're going to tap right here between the pinky finger and the ring finger on the back of the hand. And again, it's just a light tapping with 2 or 3 fingertips. And you're going to look straight ahead. And without moving the head, just look hard down to the right like you're trying to look at your right hip. And then back up to center. And down to the left hip. And back up to center. And without moving the head, just move the eyes in one direction in a big circle. And then in the other direction in a big circle. And then we're going to hum all together. And then we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll hum again. It always makes me laugh when I hum out loud. And that's it. You're done. Shake it out. And that's it. Thank you for joining us for Tapping for Sugar Cravings. I'm Lena George, and you can check out Poppy and Seed for more information or the88percent.com to learn more about tapping. Great. Good job, everybody. So now we're going to start with our meditation. And you can get as comfortable as you'd like. You can stay seated, or you can lie completely flat, whatever feels right for you. And just beginning to close the eyes and letting the body settle. And if you don't want to close your eyes, you can always keep them open and just simply let them settle in your lap or find a spot on the floor before you and just let the gaze settle and soften. So taking a moment and first setting an intention for your meditation. And something as simple as how you'd like to feel at the end of this meditation. And then bringing your attention to your breath in your body. Just noticing where you feel that rise and fall of the breath in your body now. Beginning the process of turning inward with our attention. And then bringing the breath down into the belly to lengthen and deepen the breath. Initiating the breath with the belly. To allow the lungs to fill to their full capacity. A full, deep breath. And during our meditation, we're going to be doing what I like to call active imagining. It's not so much about clearing our mind of all thoughts. Rather, we're going to be focusing our attention and directing our thoughts. And if you lose the train of thought during our meditation, don't worry, it happens. You can simply bring your attention back to your breath in your belly, coming back to that feeling of the rise and fall of your breath. Letting that breath in your belly be the hub for your entire meditation. And again, the most important thing is to trust yourself, to let your intuition be your guide. If my words don't feel quite right for you, please feel free to modify them however you'd like, making this practice truly your own and just right for you. On your next inhale, imagine bringing the rising of the breath up the back of the body as you inhale, over the crown of the head, and down the front of the body as you exhale. Imagining that rising of the breath moving up the back of your body as you inhale, moving over the top of the head, and down the front of the body as you exhale. Finding your own rhythm with your breath, with that rise and fall. Letting each breath take you inward, a tuning in with each rise and fall of the breath. And imagine scanning through the body from the tips of the toes to the top of the head, scanning for any tension or tightness in the body. And with your exhale, that same exhale down the front of the body, imagine clearing and releasing it. You can imagine it releasing any way you'd like. Perhaps your breath like a gentle, just right for you massage, moving down the body with each exhale, soothing and releasing. Paying particular attention to those parts of the body that may be seeming to hold on to that tightness or tension. Sending the breath there, the hands of that massage, to help you release even more deeply with each exhale down the front of the body. And noticing those parts of the body that don't always call out for attention. And sending the breath there as well, attending to all the parts of the body with your breath, with each exhale. And letting the breath return to the belly, feeling that rise and fall of the breath in the belly once again. And then letting it go as the focus of our attention. Begin to imagine yourself in a beautiful place, a special place that's just for you. Perhaps it's a place you've been before or some place you've only imagined. And tune into this special place with all 5 of your senses, noticing the sights around you, above you and below you. Noticing the sounds, perhaps the sound of your footfall on the ground beneath you, if there is ground. Perhaps there's a gentle breeze, or the feeling of your clothing against your skin. Noticing any fragrances, or perhaps even a taste of this special place. Tuning in with all 5 of your senses to this lovely special place. And here in this special place, there is a space where you feel most empowered and connected. And you'll know it when you see it. Allow yourself to go there now and settle comfortably in your most empowered and connected space. And notice how it feels to be empowered and connected. What's different about you in your posture, in your facial expressions. Balancing your awareness between this beautiful scene around you and your internal feeling of empowerment and connection. And before you, you see a lovely object, a gift for you, And in a moment, you'll pick up that gift, and on it, you'll see a word or perhaps several words written of what it is that you're most craving. So whenever it feels right for you, go ahead and pick up that object and receive that message now. Allowing yourself to simply receive the message without needing to analyze or understand. And I'll count up from 1 to 5. At 5, you can open your eyes, returning to the room, returning with that intention that you set at the very beginning of our meditation. But first at 0, simply finding that balance again between your awareness of the scene around you and your internal feeling of empowerment and connection. And at 1, becoming a little more aware and alert. At 2, coming back to the breath, bringing that feeling of the rising of the breath up the back of the body on the inhale, over the crown of the head, and down the front of the body as you exhale. Coming back to the breath. Allowing yourself to savor this space you've carved out in your day, where all you have to do is savor your breath. And at 3, becoming a little more aware and alert, perhaps aware of the sounds around you, your body and how you've placed yourself. At 4, you can bring movement back to the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, moving slowly and gently as you bring movement back to the body. You can stretch if that feels comfortable for you. Take your time coming back. And at 5, you can open your eyes whenever it feels right for you. Wonderful. And if you have any further questions or to see any more information, you can check out poppyandseed.com, or you can come find me at the88percent.com. My name is Lena George, and thank you for your time.